So, tell me something terrible. All right. You ready to start this thing?
Yeah.
You ever get in the mood for weird food?
I mean, I was pregnant at one point, so
I want
yes.
like poor people garlic toast with like, you just toast like a bun with like the butter and the garlic salt. That's probably what I'm going to do after this podcast.
Do we have any buns? Oh, you got that super soft bread. It was sitting there on the counter, and I squished it.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
I felt like such a hipster buying artisan bread.
Oh, my God.
We have artisan lettuce right now, too. I could make the douchiest sandwich of all time.
Oh, it was so soft when I squished it.
I know.
And there's not a gluten-free any fucking bread that will ever be that soft.
Wait till I make French toast with it in the morning to make you
I
just watch me eat it.
I hate you so much.
Just do it. Just be miserable for a week, but enjoy that
No,
French
it's
toast.
not a week. It's 2 weeks, and then a skin rash will happen, and it'll be there for a month. And
That's true.
it might be a good time to go actually get tested for celiac disease, though.
Maybe. Oh, I don't have syrup. No.
Oh, no.
Peanut butter toast it is with bananas and honey.
That'll make me feel a little better. How about you eating a really soft
That's
bread?
equally delicious. Okay. Haters gonna hate.
Are you ready to get started?
Yeah. Now I'm just in the mood for coffee and toast.
It's
because
10 o'clock at night?
It's because I'm an old British person at heart.
Secretly, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't like tea that much, so it always have to be coffee.
Yeah. Well, tea's kind of a touchy subject. If we were like expats that moved to the UK, they'd probably be like, yeah, you shouldn't. You're not allowed. You
Well,
can't
if we
drink
called
that.
if we called anything a cookie, they'd be like, "That's a biscuit." I was going to do the worst British accent ever, and I just
Decided to hold back a little bit.
Yep, holster that weapon.
All right. Luckily,
We've been doing yard work and White Claws all afternoon, so just if this is a little less jointed than usual, just give us a free pass, would you? It's hot out today. It's like 80-some degrees.
yeah, don't worry, it's going to get warmer. And we still didn't put our window shakers in yet, so it's very humid
No
and
air
sticky in
conditioning.
this
Yep.
house. Yeah.
Yep. So it's power. You said this was a short one, though.
Yeah, semi-short one.
And big news. I finished the Eloise YouTube video. What, this is going out Tuesday? Okay. So, yeah, it went live on Patreon Saturday. So if you want to see it a week early, you could join Patreon and do that. Otherwise...
Or just because you like us. You could
Well,
join
yeah,
Patreon.
and because we're independent pod, we don't have, like... You don't hear ads or anything. I mean...
Not yet. Maybe eventually.
Yeah, I mean,
If
we're
somebody
cheap.
likes
If you
us
want to,
enough.
yeah, if one of you wants to be our sponsor, I mean, just buy us a pizza. We'll shout you out.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, it's on Patreon only now. It is 43 minutes long, so you're getting your money's worth on that.
You very much so are.
Yeah. But otherwise, it'll come out. We're thinking sometime not this week, but next week.
It's 43 minutes because or 40, was it 41?
42 and a half.
42 and a half minutes because I ramble a lot longer than I should
There's
have.
a lot of
because
us
I was
talking.
drunk.
But there's pictures, there's videos, there's audio clips. I've never
There's
edited
a ghost
video.
that had a crush on me.
I've never, well, that too. I've never edited a video a day in my life, so the learning curve was, it was harder than editing audio, super easy. There's just one line pretty much.
Maybe you shouldn't tell everybody how easy it is to start a podcast
Why?
because there's already too many.
That's fine. Everybody can do it. No, but editing video was much harder, so do not, feel free to critique because all comments are good comments. But it was longer.
I'm much more of a
than
sensitive soul than you.
Well, no, it didn't take longer than I thought to edit. It became a longer video than I imagined it being when we started.
Again, because someone had 6 shots of vodka and got a little rambly.
Well, yeah. If you watch it, there is, you can tell.
Yeah, you can tell when I start to slip into the
but yeah, so
more drunk.
we threw it up on Patreon at all levels. If you want to watch it early, otherwise it'll be on YouTube sometime in the near future. But yeah, I was happy the way it turned out.
Mm-hmm. He did a great job. He's being really harsh on himself.
I didn't say I was harsh. Also, I'm unplugging your printer cable. I've hit it twice.
Oh no.
Oh no. No. Anyway, all right. What's tonight's topic?
Oh hey, wait, hold on.
Nope.
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
Oh, hi. I'm Scott.
And you are listening to Tell Me Something Terrible.
And you have been for the last 5 minutes.
Yes, in case you hadn't known by now, even though it's been 26 episodes, or if you're just tuning in, even though you can see the title and the graphic, you can figure it out.
Yep.
I have faith that you're smart enough.
And thank you for listening.
That's supposed to be at the end.
No. I'm going to thank them up front because I don't know how this is going to go.
It's not that terrible.
Especially if you've listened to the previous 26 episodes, you're You're an impressive person.
Yes, you are.
Have you ever thought about going back and listening to the first episode?
No.
No, me either.
Nope.
No.
Not even close.
I've thought about it, and because I've other podcasts. If I listen to podcasts, I like to start at episode 1. I don't like to start at their most recent.
Me too.
I know you're supposed to start at their most recent.
No, I start with the first one. I listen to the most recent and go, I like these guys.
Yep.
And then go back to the first one knowing, because I've listened to enough of them, that it's going to be rough.
Yeah, that, and I want to know the inside jokes. Because the carryover, if you hear people, if they say something and then they laugh to each other or to themselves or whatever, and you're like, I don't get it. I want to be fully in the loop.
And you just get to sit there alone feeling awkward, which is the worst, because you're like, there's literally no reason why I should be feeling awkward and left out, except for some reason I'm alone feeling awkward and left out.
I feel alone even though I'm listening to a podcast by myself, which is I'm intentionally alone. But
it's just multiple layers of just.
All right, will you explain
aloneness.
your topic? I want one of these delicious Pringles.
Okay, so I actually went super lighthearted today. This is a callback to our episode description, our podcast description.
Mullets?
Yes.
Nice. I was gonna say we didn't do measles, but I didn't think measles were that light. That would definitely include death.
Oh, measles will fuck you up hard.
What's measles, mullets,
natural disasters,
and
true crime?
True crime. Okay.
Yeah.
So mullets. And also, it is.
Yes.
Do you talk about hockey at all?
Just a couple hockey players.
Okay, because I feel like if you talked about a mullet episode without hockey, Jamie Big J would be very disappointed.
It's one of the slang terms. Anyway, we'll get into it.
All right, let's do this.
Yes, so it's going to be a super lighthearted episode today, and it is very appropriate for the general theme of the month, which is, you're not going to know. What is June?
Isn't it LGBTQ?
Pride Month.
Pride Month, yeah.
Yes.
I couldn't think of the name. I'm I know what it is. I follow enough people on social media to know what it is. I just couldn't remember it.
Yeah.
Pride Month, yes.
Yeah, also, your sister-in-laws would be very
disappointed, yeah.
Yeah, if you
I just couldn't think of the name of it.
Yeah.
I knew what it was.
Words, they're hard.
Well, and they don't have, it's not like LGBTQ History Month.
Yeah.
Most of
that does not roll off the tongue.
No, not really well, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Pride Month was great marketing on their part.
Mullets for Pride Month.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious as to how they'll tie in.
You'll find out.
Okay.
So today we're going to learn about the history of the most terrible hairstyle known to man, the mullet.
Or to woman.
Yep. Also known as the Hun cut, the bi-level, the Kentucky waterfall.
That is... The Kentucky Waterfall is awesome.
Yes.
I don't know, mullet. Okay, that everyone, but the Kentucky Waterfall. I don't care what you do the rest of your sentence. That is gold.
Yes. There's the Missouri Compromise, the hockey player haircut, the soccer rocker, or the mullet.
No, Kentucky Waterfall.
Yep.
That's the name of this episode, by the way. So welcome to the Kentucky Waterfall.
So
normally we have to listen to the first 8 minutes of our podcast to try to come up with a title. Not this time. Hold on. Where's the pen? I'm writing down Kentucky Waterfall.
There's sticky notes right underneath your phone.
Oh, yeah, there
Look
is.
at me.
Okay. You keep going. I'm writing.
So the mullet wasn't just a haircut that lasted longer than it should have, triggering outrage and ridicule toward those who dared to wear it. It was the haircut of warriors, American rebels, and eventually an all-inclusive symbol for the LGBTQ community.
Really?
Which I didn't know about, so I started researching this, and I was like, how applicable?
Now it's just the official haircut of slow-pitch softball players wearing Pit Viper sunglasses. That's the thing now, and then you get the lines, what do you call it, shaved into the side?
Yes.
You're
yeah,
good to
the
there was that HBO show too. Kenny Powers?
Sure.
About a baseball player?
You can't think of a single other show that we've watched over the last 18 months that didn't have an outstanding mullet in it.
I'm sure on the spot thinking we've established through this podcast is not good.
Mm-hmm. Right at the beginning of quarantine.
Just tell me.
The
Tiger King. Okay. Yeah.
His was glorious.
For some reason,
and of course he is mentioned in this episode.
Oh, is he?
Yes, he is.
He's on the Mount Rushmore of mullets?
Yes, he really is.
Terrific.
He's on trend for
it
the
has a waterfall
mullet.
in the back. Yeah.
It does. Yes. I use that term frequently because that's literally the waterfall is the long part of the mullet.
Yeah, you were for a while there, you were getting close to a mullet. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, because the grow out stage from short hair to long hair, it's always mullet-esque unless you constantly chop off that bottom inch, and it just I I almost had a mullet like right at the beginning of a relationship when I was growing out the duck butt to the long hair. And I had to have like 1,000
when
bobby
you were trying
pins.
to become a Karen.
Yeah. No, it was. My hair was black and green though. Like there was no way. Anyway, so during the construction of a car park in the UK, a metal figurine was found dating back to the 1st century AD.
A metal figurine?
Metal figurine, like a bronzy type figurine.
Was it Hercules? Remember he had his little... Anyway.
And he got his little sweat.
We've watched Hercules too many times.
Yes.
Recently, too.
So this was back to the 1st century, sporting what appeared to be a mullet. In the 6th century, oh my God, I know how to say this word in my head, but
You said
had
bi?
5 white... I had
So I'm just going to fill it in with... It was a bicuspid?
Nope, not bicuspid.
Nope, you're doing great.
Oh my God, why? I've practiced this a dozen times in my
in
head,
front of
and
the
I
mirror?
know you know this word. Byzantine. Byzantine? Byzantine.
Byzantine?
Yep. Bronze area, essentially.
Era?
Era, yep. Guys.
Area is a space, era is a time period.
I chugged
Have you
1.5 White Claws
Have
in
you
like
tried
the
the
last
third
5 minutes.
variation of the White Claw packs? They're pretty good.
The mango? Yeah, they're not bad.
No, I'm saying like the whole third
Oh.
pack. Yeah, with the pineapple.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There was this scholar from the 6th century called Procopius who wrote about a band of chariot racing young wealthy heathens that, I think he used hooligans, not heathens, that wore their hair long in the back and cut short over the forehead. Quote, leaving the part behind to hang down very great length in a senseless fashion. To hang down very great length.
They had no respect for Kentucky
Yeah, nope.
in the 6th century.
So it is up for debate, though, whether the hairstyles worn this long ago were true mullets or just something similar. According to this article that I read by the BBC, which I'll be referencing often because it was very well written.
There's not a lot of thorough mullet articles to choose from.
There were actually more than you thought. I just tried.
It's a good eclectic piece.
Yeah, and BBC is a pretty, reputable, reliable, news source. So ancient hairstyles were dictated socially and linked to someone's identity, which is the exact opposite of the sort of like the background of the modern day mullet and what it represents, which is individuality and rebellion.
Okay.
So it has been proposed by Alan Henderson, who is the author of Mullet Madness, which is an entire book on the history of mullets. Yes.
All right, so we're going to get that for the bookshelf next.
Yes, we are. That a hairstyle similar to the mullet was actually very beneficial. Keeping the front short kept hair out of the face, while keeping the back long helped for staying warm and keeping dry.
Okay.
Yep.
So it was functional as well as aesthetic.
Yes, and warriors were also harder to grab if, like, from the front if hair was shorter, and helmets also fit better if they weren't like going over like a full mass. If they kept the top if they kept the top short, they could pull their helmets down.
But they kept
a
it
lot
long
better.
in the back to please the ladies.
Yeah, clearly.
Or men.
Yep.
Or whatever.
Or men. I guess it depends on the region. So Edward Winslow, some 1600s author, described his first sighting with a Native American.
Way to just shoot his credibility.
Look,
some random ass author.
I'm just saying, he was a white dude who came over on a ship to the United States.
Okay.
In all honesty, fuck that guy.
Little Columbus hatred there.
Exactly. It was in 1621. His first.
I wasn't born yet.
His first depiction, when he described in his journal seeing a Native American for the first time, he was a tall, straight man. The hair of his head black, long behind, only short before. None of his face, and none on his face at all. So, like, even Native Americans were rocking the mullet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the white men had to go and copy them.
Naturally.
Yep. So Benjamin Franklin sported the skullet.
Ooh.
Yes. He used this plain, unpowdered, non-wigged haircut along with a plain brown suit to charm the French courts with a, quote, rough-hewn New World vibe to gain more financial support in the Revolutionary War.
He was the original hipster. Yeah.
Yeah, he really was. He went over there and was like, hey,
check out this haircut.
He's the exact opposite of the overabundant, overly rich, extravagant,
fake haired.
Yes, like sort of hierarchy. The oh my god, the people that run the kings and the queens and all those people. What
Monarch?
it was called. Monarchy. Thank you. And so people were like, this guy seems relatable, and
He
the
seems
United States
cool.
is trying to do some shit. So
He's trying to be the original hip dad.
yes, his is going over there, kind of trying to be more modest. Sort
It's
of
like when I wear my
created-
skinny jeans and you kind of like give me shit about it.
just a little bit though, but your butt looks real good. So
Oh,
I'm
thank
not
you.
gonna dog on it too bad. So he went over
What if
there.
I rock the skullet? You gonna? No. Okay, I can tell.
Yeah, not gonna be a thing. So this sort of like marketing of the mullet as a haircut sort of became like this, like the first,
Like the anti-monarch.
yes, and sort of like the sign of like the rebels, because we gained a lot of backing from our allies in France. They were like, this is the opposite of what we're used to. These are the kind of people we want to support.
So the mullet
the rebels.
helped shape the America we know today.
It really did.
Terrific.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, America.
United States of a mullet.
Yep. So this wound up promoting modesty and equality. Also in the 1800s, a Native American chief named Chief Joseph and members of his tribe, the Nez Perce, refused to cut their traditionally long hair, which consisted of spiky bangs, braids at the side, and the iconic waterfall in the back.
Spiky bang.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they cut it real short up at the top.
No, I'm just trying to get a visualization of that.
And then the
braided
Mennonite,
sideburns?
yeah,
Yep.
braided, yep, and then long in the back.
Okay.
Extreme mullet.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So, they were being pressured
Just waiting for
by.
the Joe Dirt reference in this.
It's like page 3.
Is it? Nice.
Yes. So they were being pressured by missionaries to
Chief
cut their
Joseph.
hair.
I just thought it made a lot of sense. Anyway.
So they were being pressured by the missionaries to cut their hair like high and tight, which was the standard,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted to look to conform like all of the white people.
Yep. It's
And-
actually in the Bible to cut your hair high and tight.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sure that's exactly what Jesus did too. Shaved it real
Yeah.
close.
Yep.
So, according to the author of the book Thunder in the Mountains, their refusal it was
Thunder
about
in the
the
Mountains.
war.
Okay, it's not
was
about
about a
mullets.
war.
Not
No.
about okay.
No,
I
it
was
was
like, that
about-
is a ridiculous name for a book about mullets.
No, it was actually about like a war between the natives and
Yep.
the white people who thought that they were better than them. Anyway, it's fine. We're fine. I'm not bitter. So the refusal to conform, quote, showed the power of political protest and moral witness at the time when his people were fiercely fighting against forced relocation from their homeland. So this sort of further solidified the mullet's place in history as belonging to those who would not bend to the status quo.
So first it was a stand against the British government, and then it was a stand against the Americans that came over.
Just missionaries, the Christians that
okay.
came over.
All right.
It was the 1800s, which I guess technically are Americans too, but I guess it really depends on where in the 1800s.
Yeah.
When did we? 1770. I know our history. We became an independent nation in 1776. So yes, I guess technically it was a rebel stance against the Americans.
They're all kind of Americans, right?
Yeah, just one of them were here in the
Yeah.
literal hundreds of billions first.
Well, yeah.
We won't get into it.
No,
I
no, no.
can't with smallpox blankets, and I would be on a tirade, and it would take like 3 hours,
Yeah.
and we just don't have time. So fast
We're
forward.
a short form podcast, in theory.
Yes. So if we fast forward to the 1970s, enter Ziggy Stardust, David Bowie's
Yep.
iconic mullet-wearing, leotard-clad alter ego.
Yes.
He chose to don the modern-day version of the mullet that we know and love, and it was to marry the masculine
It's
short
kind of
hair.
the color of your hair.
Orange.
Yeah.
Literally
I was
orange.
gonna say it's kind of
Yes.
your vibe.
Yep. Mine's a little more like yellowy and bright and vibrant, but his is more like the orangey red. Anyway, he chose to marry the masculine short hair and the feminine long hair together into one iconic look. According to History.com and hair historian Janet Stevens, it not only, quote, pushed the margins of hair and dress, but also challenged ideas of identity and gender boundaries. And so that same year, he held his coming out conference, stating that he is the embodiment of cultural decline. Quote from him, any society that allows people like Lou Reed, who is a fellow glam rocker, and me to become rampant is pretty well lost. And the second half of that quote, second third of that quote, because I left the other part out because it was really like self-deprecating, and I'm like, nah, David Bowie, you're better than that. If we're the spearhead of anything, we're not necessarily the spearhead of anything good, in reference to his like style. And despite that statement, he is still one of the most iconic mullet touting celebrities, with many others imitating his style.
Well, he's iconic for a lot of reasons, but the mullet definitely is.
Yes,
a very
and
large.
the makeup and the outfits and just
The fluidity of who he was. And is,
yeah. It was like the like mainstream start of like, hey guys, it's more than just like high necked, black and white, women, men.
Yeah.
Conservative. I can't. Anyway, this is like borderline like my trigger. So other celebrities to follow in David Bowie's footsteps that rocked the embarrassing haircut included Rod Stewart, Keith Richards, Paul McCartney, Brad Pitt, Patrick Swayze.
Patrick who?
Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze?
Swayze. Billy Ray Cyrus, and eventually his daughter Miley. Travis Tritt. Tim McGraw.
You've gone down a country path.
Yep,
now.
of course.
You're down an old country road here, yeah.
Blake Shelton, Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie, Cher, Jane Fonda, Ellen DeGeneres, and Superman, among many others. Yes, back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Which variation of Superman?
So he died in the original universe, right? And
Yeah.
then they created like his second lineage.
Okay.
And when he came back rocking a mullet.
Was it the guy who ended
In
up...
the comics.
Oh, okay. It
Yeah.
wasn't like any of the...
No, they planned on making a movie,
Human
but I think they wound up
adaptations.
like losing the funding, and he was going to have a mullet. But like, yeah, when Superman came back from the dead and was like revived, he wore a
Hold
mullet.
on. Can you imagine? Let's all visualize here. A Superman in which Billy Ray Cyrus plays Superman, and it's a musical with country music. Yeah, country musical with Billy Ray Cyrus as Superman. Can you imagine him just kryptonite, like a really honky tonk? No, anyway, sorry, that's where my brain went.
No, that's a great.
Yeah, let's go
like
ahead and do
the
that.
blonde instead of the black hair, and just
Yeah.
oh yeah.
So he's like a country singer by day, and then all of a sudden he changes.
Instead of Clark Kent?
And then he's like Clark Country, and then
he rips off his mustache and becomes Superman.
Yeah, he rips off his flannel shirt and it says Superman underneath. Yeah,
That sounds
he's just on
amazing.
denim, and then all of a sudden, boom, leotard, underwear on the outside, and he's just flying all
And
over.
suddenly his mustache is gone, and no one knows where it went.
Yeah, but the mullet's just fluttering in the background when he flies. It's like mullet.
He doesn't have a cape; it just
No.
his
Yeah.
mullet extends
Yes,
into
yes,
the cape.
Yes, and it's got an S like imprinted on it.
Yeah, like an undercut shaved in.
yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, we just wrote a movie.
So
I mean, I've edited 2 videos now, so I could pretty much shoot a movie.
oh, exactly.
I'm going to start growing the mullet tonight, guys.
You are a professional doodler.
Murphy's good with extensions. What can she do? You know, just can she weave in me some mullet
We might
pieces
have
here?
to, we might have to grow it out a little bit, but we can make it happen.
Yeah, can we just?
We gotta bleach it though, and there's gotta be harsh lines where
Yeah.
it goes from your natural hair to
Yes.
the extension.
Yeah, it doesn't need to look good.
No. So anyway, Henderson, who I had mentioned earlier with the
Alan?
Madness of Mullets,
I believe his name
the
was
author,
Alan.
was it? Okay. He said, quote, whether you were metal, country, yuppie, or punk, jock or biker, it was your style. And so it became a way of life.
Didn't your dad have a mullet?
He did. He cut that thing off when I was like 10 years old.
Ooh, so late in the game.
Yeah.
Like pushing 2000.
Oh, yes. And like this motherfucker walked around in like a cut off shorts where you could see like the bottom, like
Of his testicles?
quarter inch. No, not quite that short. Quarter inch of the pockets. And then like I remember the day my mom threw away this like gross burnt orangey brown literal half jersey that came like to his belly button. The mesh ones where there was holes everywhere in it. It had like the number like 31 or 81 on it in white. Like I remember her throwing that away when we had moved to this town, which means that I was definitely like full swing puberty.
He looked like one of the cheerleaders in Longest Yards.
Scott, it was so bad. Like it was so bad.
Do you remember the cheerleaders in Longest
Yes,
Yards? Yeah.
yes. We need to pull the photos that we have in the basement because I guarantee you that there are photos with him in those
A
short
crop
shorts
top?
and a crop top football
So he looks like a chick now.
with the mullet and the mustache.
He looks like a 19-year-old just walking around currently.
yes,
All right.
with a little more chest hair.
Yes. Equal amount of chest hair. Jokes.
I was like, I didn't have chest hair when I was 19.
Nope.
Now, chest hair then? No. So
Just wax.
so the mullet was everywhere in the 1980s. A hairstylist and University of the Arts in London lecturer, John Vile, was interviewed by that BBC article to discuss the prevalence of the mullet and its reason for popularity. John remembers the haircut rising in correlation with gender fluid styles and new romanticism. Since the mullet fuses the traditionally masculine and feminine, it started to change the boundaries of what was accepted for men and women, allowing for it to gain popularity in the LGBTQ community as a nonverbal symbol of their sexuality. John is quoted saying, "From an LGBTQ point of view, it was an incredibly safe place to be. If you were a lesbian, you wanted to feel slightly more boyish, you could wear your hair shorter around the frame and then have the safety of the length in the back. And the same applied for boys who wanted a little bit more hair."
Okay.
So does it make sense then?
Yeah, so instead
How
of
it's
like
connected.
instead of business in the front, party in the back, it was like boyish in the front, feminine in the back.
Yes.
Yeah. It just kind of blended the two.
Yep.
Okay.
But the mullet's popularity started to wane by the mid-90s once it became a calling card for, in my opinion, the more like redneck ingenuity type. You know,
The Kentucky Waterfall type?
yeah,
Okay.
the straight white men type.
Yeah.
They just fuck everything up. No offense. I love you, but like, sorry.
I can't change who I am. Sorry.
So it was quickly labeled as one of the decade's biggest faux pas. The official name of mullet didn't come about until 1994.
Okay, so what did they call it before? What did your dad think his haircut was?
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
I've never asked. I mean, I was born in 89. Like, I'm not going to like
5-year-old you. What's your haircut? I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think they just called it like the bi-level. It seemed to be kind of like the most like,
Yeah.
yeah. So the Beastie Boys wrote a song about it called Mullet Head, which is a blatant insult of someone with, quote, limited intelligence, according to that BBC article that I keep referencing.
Okay. I've never actually heard that song. We could play it right now.
I can't. No. Okay.
I feel like-
Copyright
okay,
infringement. But
maybe-
also, I can't believe you. I've never heard that song either. But like,
I might have heard it. I just wouldn't know the name of it
Yeah.
as Mullet Head.
because you've listened. You know quite a few Beastie Boys songs, which is why I'm surprised
no way, but
you
it's-
haven't heard it.
Okay. I like the pop. I'm not going to say I'm like a Beastie Boys like diehard or anything.
No, but you like that genre.
Yeah, and I like their popular songs, but there's no way that's like one of their like top 10 songs. That's just a song by them.
Yep. And so the Beastie Boys.
Or it is, and people are gonna be like, "How do you not know that song?" But I told you, not a diehard.
Yeah, and also like, you know, based on our sort of like pop culture reference and people calling us out on Twitter, that seems to be the norm. So I'm sure there's a lot of people being like, "How could you not?"
Trust me, it's just, yeah.
We're learning, guys. We've apparently lived very sheltered lives. So the Beastie Boys
I still
described
haven't
it.
watched Anger Management, by the way.
Son of a bitch.
I know. Maybe I'll wake up early tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. These white claws are gonna hit me eventually.
Yeah. So the Beastie Boys described it in a lyric from Mullet Head as number 1 on the side and don't touch the back, number 6 on the top and don't cut it whack, Jack.
I mean, those are pretty much good instructions.
Mm-hmm.
That's not too far off what I get, except for like we go one all the way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can start not touching your back.
No,
We'll mention it to
I
her
need a
next time
haircut.
she's here.
I'm just about to shave it all off.
Oh,
it's so hot out.
It's not that hot out yet.
It's thick.
It's not that hot out yet.
She wakes up in the morning, I'm bald.
And beardless.
Oh,
I would cry. It'd be the end of the podcast, guys. If you don't hear from us in 2 weeks, it's because someone shaved their whole
I
face and
always
head.
shave on my birthday. This is like the first year in like 5 years I haven't. And
You said you weren't going to.
I only said I wasn't going to because I knew we had to shoot all that stuff for the Eloise YouTube video. And I
Now just over your
myself
considering it.
with a camera, like the beard hides a lot of me, and that's like a comfort thing. So
Well,
now,
it is like 3 inches long by now.
yeah, but like so if you shave that, then I'm like, oh, now I have to worry about like weird camera angles and people can see my face.
I'll just teach you how to contour.
I guarantee I have tan lines by now.
Oh, for sure. There's going to be a harsh line where the
Yeah.
freckles
So I
stop.
have this weird pasty chin thing. Anyway,
Tell me more.
Well, and if you can't tone it, tan it, and it's going to be just this weird double chin whiteness. Nobody wants to see that now. In the winter, maybe I'll shave it in the winter. Halloween again.
You shaved it for Halloween?
Yeah, remember when I was a cop?
Oh my God, yes.
I went down to a mustache. Everyone said I
During
looked
like the worst year that you could have been a cop for Halloween.
well. That and everyone said I looked like Paul Blart. That's not nice to say, by the way. Like, oh, you look like that fat diabetic cop. Thanks, guys. Thanks. That's really.
I'm one thing away from that.
That's really close to home. Appreciate it. I'm gonna go eat a salad and lay in the road. Anyway.
They also said in their now defunct magazine, the Beastie Boys, quote, "There's nothing quite as bad as a bad haircut, and perhaps the worst haircut
Trust
of
me,
all."
I had the Princeton.
Yeah, you
Google
did.
that and tell me about bad haircuts.
It might top the mullet. It definitely tops the mullet.
If you don't know what it is bangs only.
It is literally everything is shaved to like a 1 or a 2.
A 1, except your bangs.
For the first, not even your bangs. Like only like the front eighth of an inch.
But they want to be long.
And yeah, they need to touch your eyebrows.
Yeah. No, it's like
bad.
Like I looked like an idiot back then, and that was skinny me. That was like me at like 7, 8 when I was like.
And this guy had a Jufro for his senior photos, so
well, yeah, no, trust me,
that might be slightly racist. I'm sorry, guys.
I don't know, but it was this wavy mess of curls.
And it like went out on like a 30-degree angle outward, so it looks.
Yeah, no, my hair grows in the worst shape. I'm aware of that.
Yeah,
that's why I get.
I mean, like I say that, but for like. Not my senior prom, but the prom I had to go to after that, my hair was like literally a 1/4 inch long over as a female.
Yeah.
Even the bangs. Straight across baby bangs.
Anyway, keep going. We don't need to talk about bad haircuts, but maybe I'll post that. That'll be Patreon. Everyone on our Patreon knew me then, so they don't need to see that.
No, not everyone. Oh,
most
your coworkers. Oh wait, no, they're ex-coworkers now, aren't they?
Either way, nobody needs to see.
Bigger and better
nobody needs to see Princeton me.
Yes.
Also, what was it called? Anyway, I just need to know the backstory of that one. Anyway, keep going with your mullet talk.
My one haircut?
No. I just want to know why it's called the Princeton. There's no way people at Princeton had that haircut.
Fuck no.
Not in a million years where Ivy Leaguers walking around with bangs only. All right.
Anyway, so the worst haircut of all, is the mullet, where the band went on a 6-page diatribe railing against the mullet. Like they dedicated, a 6 pages just dogging on the mullet. So it became the butt of every joke, bringing to mind the business in the front, party in the back, redneck drunken partying lifestyle that inspired movies like Joe Dirt and songs like "Cut the Mullet" by Wesley Willis. I don't know Wesley. No, he was a black, like hip hoppy humor, kind of like spoken word / singing. Apparently very like dark lyricists from like the 90s. Someone would we'd probably enjoy a lot of his music.
Also, if you really want to go on a roller coaster ride,
oh my fucking god,
watch Bo Burnham's new Netflix special called Inside.
And this is the second time that we've plugged Bo Burnham.
Yeah, but this new thing is a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, Scott was tired and he was like, I think I might shut this off. I'm like, I am so invested in this right now. I'm like, this speaks to me on like an animalistic level. Like,
yeah, it's all over the place in like a good way.
Trigger warning.
Oh, there's a million trigger warns pretty much early.
Yeah, and he's dark
he's
to
always,
begin with.
Yeah, he's always been dark, and this was like, put a dark person by themselves for a year.
In like a literal room that he like came to the ceiling of because he's 6'4" or something ridiculous like that.
Anyway, go back to mullets. This is supposed to be a light episode.
Let's talk about suicide. So after, I'm really good at bringing that up in every episode. Yep. So after that tumultuous fall from grace over the past decade, the mullet is making its long-awaited comeback, expedited by all of the at-home haircuts of quarantine. It started as on high
cuts back too.
No.
Oh.
Thank goodness. So it started on high fashion runways, drawing attention, ridicule, and most importantly, got people talking. And the world is finally catching up. Between 2009 and 2012, it was popular among the Lebanese descent in Australia. By 2015...
That is a very niche market.
Obscure, yes.
Yeah.
So by 2015, it became popular among K-pop artists and athletes, including Phil Kessel of the Penguins. Yep. Football coach...
What sport does he play?
Hockey.
There you go.
Yep.
The
Philadelphia.
Penguins. Pittsburgh.
Damn it. Look.
Philadelphia's the Flyers. You were
real close.
You said it confidently.
I did.
If I wasn't here, you would have got away with it.
Totally. So the football coach Mike Gundy.
For
Fuck if I know.
Oklahoma State.
Sure.
Okay.
And then from
We're doing
2010 to 2015, the Chicago Blackhawks. Don't ask me what sport. I don't know.
Hockey.
Is it hockey again?
Yeah.
Damn it. Patrick Kane wore the playoff mullet. So
He's got curly blonde hair.
yeah. So instead of
As someone who lives in Michigan, you should hate the Blackhawks.
Oh, I'm sorry I brought it up. It's hockey though.
You don't have to apologize. I'm just saying, as a Red Wing by like proximity fan, you should hate the Blackhawks.
It's like how we should hate the Yankees.
Everyone should hate the Yankees.
It's like how we should hate Ohio State.
Yes.
Okay.
Not at that extreme. It's like more of like
Not quite that bad.
No.
Not like burn couches and maybe like stab someone in the alley if they have a Michigan plate kind of bad.
No, not that bad. No. It's like how we hate like what's a good comparison? I'm not. Yeah.
Ohio in general.
Yeah, it's like it's more like how Piston fans don't like the Cavaliers.
Sure.
Maybe stronger than that.
Sure.
Maybe the Bulls. Pistons, Bulls.
There's like one
Red Wings,
person
Blackhawks.
who's real excited about
Pistons,
this.
Bulls, but then so you got to go back because like none of the Detroit teams have been good enough.
Like
recently.
MSU and U of M.
Less than that, but you're getting close.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll get there eventually, guys. It's only been like 10 years.
Yep.
So the modern mullet is now on the rise, popularized by LGBTQ influencers like Miley Cyrus and Crystal Method.
I've never heard of Crystal Method.
She's from, oh shoot. I've never watched RuPaul's Drag Race,
Neither
and
have
I
I.
need to. And based on the assumptions that RuPaul identifies as she, I'm going to go ahead and say Crystal Method also identifies as she.
Or they. Can we say
Or
that?
they. Yep. I don't know. I didn't look up their pronouns before I did this. And now I
They's
feel
kind
like
of
an
inclusive,
asshole.
isn't it?
Yeah, but it also depends on your preference.
Okay, well, assuming we don't know, just
Assuming I don't know, we're going to go with, Crystal Method from RuPaul's Drag Race, and I feel like an asshole,
their
and I probably
name
should have
works
looked
too.
it up.
That's a good.
Yes, it's a great name.
Yeah.
And the introduction of the Tiger King himself, Joe Exotic, paired with the lack of access to actual hair salons after the world had completely shut down. And this allowed space for people to just experiment with their hair and grow braver, because if you mess it up, who cares? When's the next time you're going to see another human?
That's true.
So the mullet kind of expanded from there. And the modern day mullet is a little shaggier with a tighter sides and longer tops, but still sporting that iconic waterfall of hair down the back.
From Kentucky.
That Kentucky waterfall down the back.
Yeah.
There's
Tuck it under your derby hat.
Kentucky under your derby.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's even a mullet competition hosted in Australia during Australia's Mullet Fest.
Adelaide.
Celebrate.
That's a few dollop.
the dollop.
I don't know if anyone that we listen to listens to the dollop.
If they don't, they should.
They should. It's more of a.
Roller coaster ride.
It's darker than us.
And
typically.
abrasive. Bear in mind, they are
Yeah.
comedians. Male comedians.
White male comedians.
White
you would
male
say.
comedians. Everybody's a target.
If we do a comedy podcast, does that make us like the lowest tier of comedians there are? Does that make us?
I mean, for the most part, but there are actually some genuine comedians that have actually gone to like
I would like to think it makes
improv
you like
classes and stuff.
it makes both of us whatever you are like the lowest level like author/journalist, and I'm the lowest level comedian.
Self-published is the word you're looking for.
Self-published author, and I am a self-proclaimed comedian. There we go. And I am.
That's so cute.
Isn't it?
No,
We're
it's
that big of
not.
losers.
Yes, we are.
Okay. You read things and I joke about things.
Yeah.
So we are.
Yep. So, but along with all of its Western popularity, there comes pushback. In 2010, the mullet was banned in Iran.
Never mind. I was going to say with like hair ties. That didn't make any sense.
No,
I don't understand. Hair jokes are hard for me, guys.
because he doesn't have much hair.
Because I've had like the same haircut for a decade.
You'll be fine. So in 2010,
I use beard oil. I'm fancy.
proud of you. So it's beard oil that smells like vanilla and cedar
Yeah, because I'm a man.
that I picked out for him. Don't
Yep.
make him sound loud. And I bought him the boar bristle brush and the wooden comb and everything. Don't make him.
Go ahead.
He's fancy because I made him fancy.
Undercut. Well, no. That's how marriage works.
What have I changed for you?
No, I'm saying
I've
you.
lost 35
no,
pounds.
I'm saying you make. Your job is to make me fancier than I would be otherwise.
And what's your job for me? What?
I cooked dinner for you. Keep reading your story,
that
lady.
is true.
Keep going, self-published author or whatever you call yourself.
So, in 2010, the mullet was banned in Iran, and in 2021, it was banned in North Korea to stop the spread of Western influences.
In North Korea? Okay,
Yep,
that
North
makes
Korea.
sense.
Yeah, Kim Jong-un. Yep. He also banned skinny jeans.
Why?
Western
Too much
influences.
moose knuckle?
Yeah. So
moose knuckle's underused, and I feel like we should,
Yeah, everybody talks about the...
I'm going to sneak that in next episode, too. Just keep an ear out.
Yeah, everybody talks about
It's like the duck
camel
in
toe, but
Destination
nobody nobody talks about the moose knuckle. So after all this time, it is still a symbol of rebellion and stand for
Mullets, not moose knuckles.
Yes,
just so we get back on track.
So mullets, after all this time...
I hope there's one person Googling moose knuckle because they don't understand.
just their life is getting destroyed right now. Like,
they're like,
God!
Sorry.
So after all this time, the mullet is still a symbol of rebellion, a stand for individuality, and a mainstay in the LGBTQ community. And so that is the actually not so terrible history of the really terrible haircut, the mullet.
No, I think it's like it oddly helped shape America. It was a sign of like independence and individuality. And
like a stance against the status quo.
Yeah, and granted, it has like this very like rednecky like sort, which is funny because it actually prevent a redneck because the hair would protect your neck. So anyway, but it's so weird how it has like
this cyclical, and still is like,
and it was like anti-monarchy. Then all of a sudden they came over and it was kind of anti the incoming
repression,
the new, exactly. And then it just cycles back where it's a good, it's bad, it's good, it's bad, and now it's more like it's funny. Like you would not take someone seriously with a mullet.
Yes, and that's what a lot of the quotes that I was seeing about like TikToker influencers, and like there was somebody else
hockey
who
players,
had won. Yeah, there was someone else who was like the reigning champion of like the mullets from Mullet Fest, who was like, it's ironic, you have to wear it ironically, and like they asked him in that article from the BBC that I just kept referencing, like if he's like mad that it's becoming like a popular trend, and he goes, no, I think everybody needs to smile more in 2021. Like it's supposed to be like a little bit of a joke, but also a little bit of like a take back of your power. Like I don't give a fuck, I'm walking around with a mullet, suck a dick.
Well, the worst part about that Mike Gundy guy, is Mike Gundy? Whatever.
Mike Gundy.
The Oklahoma State coach, he wears a visor with his, which makes like...
It might not be a mullet. It might have just broken off
his
hairs.
His is 100% a mullet. His is 100% a mullet.
It's not from the visor just breaking the hair?
He has like those, like that like greasy car salesman mullet too, like where I don't know what
like the mullet from the mid-90s that everybody was like, I
don't know what you have to do to hair to make it permanently look wet.
That shitty LA Girls gel.
Gear.
Yes, LA Gear gel.
Yeah, where it came with the bubbles and it looked like aloe vera, and you're like, this
on the
is
bottom
sticky.
shelf of Family Dollar.
Yeah, for
that's
a diller.
You get there. Yep.
But like a visor's a tough look. A mullet and visor, that's another level.
That's big.
Can you imagine me wearing a visor? No, exactly. I get it. Like I get that it's breathable, but so are like those trucker hats.
Or the mesh hats that I wear from the Napoleon Lawn
That's
and
a
Leisure.
trucker hat.
Oh, I thought trucker hats were like the flat brim.
Flat brim?
Nope, just kidding.
No, they have the mesh.
Guys, I wear big flappy sun hats.
Yeah.
So
you do.
I did have a visor though when I was in band camp.
Wow.
Of course.
Was it Nike with a swoosh on it, or was it what was the?
No.
Who used to wear the weird hat?
It legit.
K something like that.
K-Swiss.
No.
It legit might have been a Tiger's hat.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, my mom was a janitor at the school. Anything left over, I got. And
yeah,
so, in case you guys are wondering where your shit went.
Where the lost and found when it went to Tiff's house.
Yep.
That was lost for you and found for her.
Yes, it was. So my sources are history.com, an article by Cassidy George from the BBC.com, and Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Yep. Always Wikipedia.
If you made it this far, and this one you said, oh, this is short. No, this is a fun one, so I knew it was going to go long.
Well, I don't know what you want from me. You just riffed too much.
I riffed?
Yeah. You'd be like, okay, this movie pitch. And like...
Whoa, my movie pitch. I'm going back to that. Okay. Clip it.
Okay.
All right. I have a weird pain in my right ear. I guess it's time to stop this.
Stroke.
If you made it this far, though, congrats. It did go on for a while. But...
Sorry.
Thank you for listening. This is coming out Tuesday. Yeah. So, yeah. Follow us on social media. We're over 100 Twitter followers. Oh, I feel so accomplished. You have no idea, guys. I mean, granted, most of them are just other podcasts, like little podcasts, but I still feel like we're doing things.
Yep.
So, and if you like our stuff, if you want to share our page on Facebook so more people will listen, we just think we do an okay job. We want more people to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shameless plugging. Hashtag shameless plugging.
Every YouTube video is going to have a shameless plugging category. Like, I already put it on the new YouTube video, even though it's private still.
Okay.
I put a shameless plugging section of the description. It says shameless plugging right on it, too.
I'm just trying to see how many times you're going to say shameless plugging before it gets awkward.
I think that was 4. It got awkward at 2, and I was like, this is perfect.
You're driving through, guys.
I'm going to keep doing it. Yep.
Just going to keep plugging along.
Shamelessly. All right. We clearly need to go get some carbohydrates and water.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Have a nice night.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to our terrible podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. Feel free to follow us on Twitter at TMSTPod.
And if you'd like to support the show, you can find us on Patreon at Tell Me Something Terrible.
Oof, that was terrible.